Summary of Fooled by Randomness by Nassim Taleb. You want to succeed so bad, be wildly wealthy or famous. What if I told you that huge success has nothing to do with hard work, let alone skill? According to Nassim Taleb's Fooled by Randomness, it all comes down to luck. While the world is full of very talented people, not all of them are successful. Furthermore, among the successful, even fewer are wildly successful. Take music as an example. You might know someone very talented. However, they are not as successful as Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, or your favorite successful musician. So what's happening here? Well, the most successful people in our society happen to be the luckiest too, which explains why they end up catching big breaks, while the rest don't. This is the main idea in Nassim Taleb's Fooled by Randomness, where he puts forward some thought-provoking ideas as he examines the outsized role luck plays in success. A wonderful read, this book challenges our deeply ingrained beliefs about success, expertise, and encourages us to embrace the unpredictable nature of life. In this video, you'll learn exactly what luck is, how rare moments in life hugely impact your life or not, and why a good track record is not proof of expertise. Most of all, we'll talk about avoiding failure in this random world. First off, we'll start by looking at why wild success is due to luck, not skill. There are moments in life when you look at a successful person and think, wow, they must be incredibly skilled and hardworking, right? You are not alone. It is easy to attribute someone's successes to their talent and effort. On the contrary, when you see someone who hasn't reached the same heights or who has experienced a downfall, it's easy to deem them as less capable. But here is the thing. You might have made a mistake right there by underestimating the influence of luck on success or failure. Granted, skill and hard work can certainly lead to moderate success, and pay attention to the moderate success part here. Basically, if you put in the effort and develop your abilities, you'll likely see some positive results. However, when it comes to that mind-blowing, wild success, where millions of dollars and enduring fame are involved, that's a whole different ballgame. In most cases, it's primarily due to luck, a fortunate rare event combined with a lack of negative rare events. Now, believe it or not, luck plays a bigger role in certain industries that heavily rely on chance, like investing, compared to professions such as carpentry or medicine, which are built more on perseverance and skill. Unfortunately, people often fail to recognize just how fundamentally different these chance-based professions are from skill-driven ones when it comes to generating success. This misunderstanding, along with the tendency to attribute success solely to skill rather than luck, can lead to some pretty poor decision-making. Let's delve into some specific ways in which we misunderstand the effect of luck on success. One of them is what we call the survivorship bias, which is when we look at examples of extraordinary success and start believing that those outcomes are what anyone in that industry can reasonably expect. We focus only on the people who survived, meaning those who thrived in their particular situation, and we draw lessons from their success, assuming that wild success is easily attainable. For instance, when an investor strikes it rich or a writer lands a multi-million-dollar movie contract, we tend to internalize those success stories and think they're within reach for anyone in their respective fields. However, to evaluate the chances of success in any venture, we must consider not only the visible results but also the invisible alternatives. The possibility that those successful individuals could have failed if they had encountered less lucky circumstances. To truly assess the likelihood of getting rich as a trader, we need to consider all the people who tried and failed, not just the ones who made a fortune. And when we judge the prospects of achieving wealth through writing, it's essential to take into account all the authors who couldn't find a publisher or whose books didn't sell well, not just the ones who became bestsellers. Moving ahead, another way we misunderstand the effect of luck on success is by failing to appreciate how rare moments in life leave a huge impact on your life. You know, when we talk about luck and how randomness can determine our success or failure, we're talking about those rare moments that have a huge impact on our lives. These rare events can completely change the game for us, either pushing us forward in a big way or knocking us down hard. The thing is, these events don't happen very often, and they're often impossible to predict. So it's no wonder that we tend to overlook their probability and underestimate their power. Throughout history, we've seen these rare events leave their mark. But the thing is, we can't pinpoint when or where they'll happen. One example of a rare event is when a relatively unknown musician gets discovered by a famous producer and suddenly becomes a global sensation. This breakthrough opportunity can launch their career to unimaginable heights, giving them fame, success, and wealth. Taking track records as an indicator of future success is also a problem that keeps us from appreciating the role luck plays in our success. See, due to the nature of randomness and rare events, within a large pool of people, a certain percentage will inevitably end up remarkably fortunate, regardless of their skill or competence. Imagine a group of 10,000 traders, all playing the risky game of making or losing money with a 50% chance each year. After the first year, half of them are out, leaving 5,000 traders. After 5 years, only a little over 300 traders are left standing. Now, here's the interesting part. Among those remaining, some might have just lucked out repeatedly, while others genuinely possess skills. But to an outsider, it's hard to distinguish between the two. In the real world, those 300 traders would be celebrated as successful and skilled professionals. Another thing we fail to recognize is that sometimes the most qualified competitor does not win. Life isn't always fair, thanks to the unpredictable nature of randomness. Remember the simulation we discussed earlier? Let's tweak it a bit. Now, imagine each trader only has a 45% chance of making money in a year. Surprisingly, even with lower odds, after 5 years, we'd still have around 200 traders left standing. These individuals would be hailed as extraordinary, despite their relatively lower success rate. Away from that, let's talk about why humans are bad at assessing randomness and risk. Assessing randomness and risk is challenging for several reasons, and our cognitive biases and misconceptions play a significant role in our inability to do so accurately. Here are some reasons why we struggle with assessing randomness and risk. 1. Misinterpreting the past. We often misunderstand the probabilities that drove past events. We tend to believe that just because something has never happened before, it can't happen now. 2. Limited understanding through observations. When we base our understanding of the world solely on observations, we are prone to miss rare events. We tend to overlook possible events that didn't occur but could have. Our theories of the world should not rely solely on what we observe, because one counterexample can disprove a theory based on millions of observations. 3. Difficulty in predicting the future. Even if we can analyze the past accurately, applying those lessons to the future is challenging. The noise of the present makes it difficult to determine which events will significantly impact the future. Our ability to foresee rare events is limited. 4. Noise and clarity. The constant influx of information, often referred to as noise, can cloud our judgment. Paying too much attention to random fluctuations and insignificant details can distort our perception of what truly matters. Over time, the noise tends to filter out, allowing us to recognize the events that genuinely shape history. 5. Changeability of the future. Our predictions of the future can influence the future itself. If we all fully understood the past and made appropriate preparations, rare events would no longer unfold as expected because our actions would prevent them. Rare events exist precisely because they are unexpected and not adequately prepared for. 6. Thinking shortcuts and biases. Our cognitive shortcuts and biases, developed to save time and mental energy, often lead us astray. We tend to make decisions emotionally and use rational thinking afterward to justify those decisions. We prefer simplicity over complexity and are more drawn to surprises and easily brought to mind events, which can distort our perception of probabilities. We also struggle to assess abstract risks and underestimate the likelihood of rare events. 7. Misjudging sample size. We frequently draw conclusions from a small sample size, leading to inaccurate assessments of probabilities, risks, and opportunities. Extrapolating lessons from limited examples can result in misguided strategies and incorrect evaluations. 8. Seeing meaning in randomness. Our brains naturally seek meaning. causing us to find patterns and explanations where none exist. We might attribute success or failure to intelligence or skill when luck might be the primary factor. We also tend to pay attention to the probability of winning while neglecting the importance of the potential outcomes and the influence of rare events. Now let me draw your attention to the most important bit: how to avoid failure in a random world. So, here is the thing. In our unpredictable world, luck plays a significant role in short-term success. However, in the long run, it's a skill that truly determines our outcomes. Good or bad luck eventually evens out, and those who excel or fail will eventually see results that align with their abilities. This phenomenon is known as reverting to the mean. For example, traders who consistently make poor trades will eventually face disastrous consequences. Likewise, waiters who win the lottery are unlikely to experience the same luck again. To avoid failure in this random world, it's important to focus on developing favorable mindsets by 1. Anticipating your emotional reactions. Instead of battling your instincts, eliminate triggers that cloud your judgment. Cut out market news and analysis that stir up emotions. Set alerts only for significant market movements to stay focused on essential information. 2. Avoiding bull or bear thinking. Shift your focus from market direction to how it impacts your results. Hedging against major drops or rises can be more profitable than predicting small shifts. Seek opportunities in rare events with the potential for significant returns. Take advantage of shorting the market if it offers better profits, even if an increase seems more likely. 3. Staying flexible with your positions. Don't hold on to positions that no longer serve you. Adapt and change as market conditions evolve. Accept fallibility and be willing to let go of poor decisions like unfavorable positions. Learn from mistakes and apply lessons to future decisions. Now, what do you think about Taleb's Fooled by Randomness? Let me know in the comments section. While at it, like the video and share it widely. Remember to subscribe too for more content like this. Thanks for watching.